Today we are going to work on lesson 1.6, absolute value equations. Our lesson objectives are being able to show any situation as an equation of rational numbers and variables, and being able to solve and explain it. You will notice with our first equation we have absolute value bars around x plus 1. We're going to be using both the positive side of absolute value and the negative side of absolute value to solve these equations. So you will be solving them twice. First with the number that is in it. So our first, or the equation that's in it, our first one is going to be x plus 1 is going to equal to 2. Then we're also going to do the opposite, go in the other direction, and we are going to change the sign of all the terms inside our absolute value bars. So instead of a positive x, we're going to solve for a negative x. Instead of adding 1, we're going to subtract 1, and it's still going to equal 2. We're going to solve both these equations and come up with our two answers. X plus 1, we are going to subtract 1 from both sides of our equation, leaving us with x equals 1. Then we go to our second equation. To get x by itself, we add 1 to both sides of the equation. We get negative x equals 3. To get rid of our negative, we multiply by a negative 1 on both sides. A negative x times a negative 1 gives us a positive x, and a 3 times a negative 1 gives us a negative 3. Both answers are a solution to our equation. We can do two-step equations the same way. We're going to do both the positive side of this equation and the negative side. So our first equation is going to be 3x minus 2 is equal to 10. And then we're also going to do the opposite of that. We're going to do our negative 3x. Instead of minus 2, we're going to add 2, which is equal to 10. So we'll start with our first one. They're subtracting 2, so we're going to add 2 to both sides of our equation. We get 3x equals 12. We're going to divide both sides by 3 to get our variable by itself. 12 divided by 3 gives us 4. On the other side, they're adding 2, so we're going to subtract 2 to both sides of our equation, give us negative 3x equals 8. Divide both sides by negative 3. We have an improper fraction. You can either leave it as the improper fraction, or you can change it into a mixed number. 3 goes into 8 2 times, so we have negative 2 and 2/3. Again, both of them are solutions to our absolute value equation. Sometimes not everything is inside our absolute value bars. We have the absolute value of 2x plus 4 minus 8 equals a negative 2. We still have to solve it twice. The first time we just take out the absolute value bars. We have 2x plus 4 minus 8 equals negative 2. And the second time we're going to switch the sign of the terms, but only what is inside the absolute value bars. So it's instead of a positive 2x, it's a negative 2x. Instead of adding 4, it's subtracting 4. And because our negative 8 was not inside our absolute value bars, that stays the same. Minus 8 still gives us a negative 2. Now we can go back and solve. We're going to simplify. We're adding 4 and then subtracting 8. So we're going to have 2x minus 4 altogether gives us a negative 2. They're subtracting 4. We're going to add 4 to both sides, leaving us with 2x equals a positive 2. Divide by 2 on both sides. Our first solution is x equals 1. On the second equation, again, we're going to start with simplifying. We're subtracting 4 and we're subtracting 8. So altogether we have negative 2x minus 12, which gives us a negative 2. They're subtracting 12, so we're going to add 12 to both sides, leaving us with negative 2x is going to be equal to positive 10. Divide both sides by negative 2. 10 divided by negative 2 gives us a negative 5. We have our two solutions to our equation. So remember, the only time you change the sign of the terms is inside the absolute value bars. In this case, our minus 8 was not inside the absolute value bars, so we left that alone. Pause the video, do the two problems you see on your screen right now, and then click start again, play again, and let's see how you did. First problem, absolute value of 3x plus 3. We're solving it twice. 3x plus 3 equals 24, and a negative 3x. Instead of plus 3, it's going to be minus 3 equals 24. Subtract 3 from both sides on our first one. We have 3x equals 21. Divide by 3 on both sides. X equals 7. Second equation, they're subtracting 3. We're going to add 3 to both sides. Negative 3x is going to be equal to 27. Divide by 3 on both, or divide by negative 3 on both sides. X is going to be equal to negative 9. Second problem, remember we're going to leave the plus 7 alone, but we're going to change the terms inside the absolute value bars. First one is we're going to leave it alone. 4x minus 10 plus 7 equals 18. And our second one is going to be a negative 4x. Instead of minus 10, it's going to be plus 10 plus 7 equals 18. Go back and simplify. Minus 10 plus 7. We're doing 4x minus 3 altogether. Gives us our 18. They're subtracting 3, so we're going to add 3 to both sides. 4x equals 21. Divide both sides by 4. X equals, and you can leave it as an improper fraction, or you can change it to 5 1/4. Second one, they're adding 7, or adding 10 and adding 7, so it's negative 4x plus 17 equals 18. Subtract 17 from both sides. Negative 4x equals 1. Divide both sides by our negative 4. X equals a negative 1/4. So you can pause the video, do the 4 problems that you see on your screen. They're the same 4 problems that will be on the quiz for Schoology. Do the problems, get 2 solutions, then go ahead and start the quiz on Schoology. Enter both your answers. Bring your work to class tomorrow, and we'll see how we did.